Have you ever desperately wanted to learn something, but no matter who you asked, no matter which course you took, the knowledge just wouldn't stick? Maybe you tried learning from books, but the words felt empty. Maybe you found experts, but their advice didn't resonate. Or maybe you jumped from teacher to teacher, workshop to workshop, always searching, but never finding what you truly needed. If you felt like the right guidance is always just out of reach, this story will show you why. Because there's an ancient truth that most people discover too late. The teacher doesn't appear when you want them. They appear when you're ready. Stay with me until the end. This might change how you see every struggle you've ever faced. In a bustling city where everyone seemed to be racing toward success, there lived a 26-year-old man named Daniel. Daniel was intelligent, ambitious, and hungry for knowledge, but more than anything, he wanted to master the art of business. To build something meaningful, to create success from nothing. He had read every book on entrepreneurship. His shelf was filled with titles. The Lean Startup 0 to 1. Think and Grow Rich. He had highlighted passages, taken notes, memorized quotes. But when he tried to apply what he learned, nothing worked. He attended seminars where successful entrepreneurs spoke. He paid for online courses from business gurus. He even hired a business coach for 3 months. But every piece of advice felt generic. Every strategy felt disconnected from his reality. The books talked about principles, but Daniel couldn't translate them into action. The coaches gave him frameworks, but something was missing. His notebook was full of wisdom from others, but none of it felt like his wisdom. His girlfriend Sarah would watch him late at night, surrounded by books and courses, looking more frustrated than enlightened. "Daniel," she would say gently, "maybe you're trying too hard. Maybe you need to slow down." But Daniel would shake his head. "I just need to find the right teacher. Someone who really knows someone who can show me the way." What Daniel didn't understand yet was that he was looking for someone to give him answers, but he wasn't ready to receive them. After 2 years of consuming knowledge, Daniel decided he was ready. He would finally start his business. He launched an online store selling handmade products. He followed every strategy from the books. He implemented every tactic from the courses. He worked 18-hour days fueled by coffee and determination. But within 6 months, the business was drowning. Sales were inconsistent, suppliers were unreliable. Marketing strategies that worked for others failed for him. The money he had saved was gone. The credit card debt was growing. One cold evening in November, Daniel sat in his small apartment, staring at the stack of business books that had promised him success. The laptop screen glowed with his failed store's analytics. 12 visitors today, 0 sales. He had done everything they told him to do, and he had failed. For the first time, anger replaced ambition. He grabbed one of the books, a famous one that had inspired millions, and threw it across the room. It hit the wall and fell to the floor. Pages crumpled. "What's wrong with me?" He shouted to the empty room. "I read everything. I learned everything. Why doesn't it work?" Sarah found him that night, sitting on the floor, head in his hands, surrounded by the books he used to worship. "I'm not smart enough," he whispered. "I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm just not meant for this." She sat beside him in silence, not knowing what to say, because she could see something Daniel couldn't. He was looking for answers outside when the real problem was inside. The next morning, Daniel made a decision. He closed the business, returned what inventory he could, accepted the loss. But more importantly, he stopped searching. He stopped buying courses, stopped attending seminars, stopped reading new business books. He was too tired to try anymore, too broken to pretend he had the answers. And in that exhausted surrender, something shifted. 3 weeks after closing his business, Daniel was working at a coffee shop to pay off his debt. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. For the first time in years, he wasn't thinking about strategies or frameworks. He was just present. One quiet Tuesday afternoon, an older man came in, maybe in his 60s, wearing a simple jacket, carrying a worn leather notebook. He ordered a black coffee and sat by the window. Daniel brought him the coffee. The man smiled and said, "Thank you, you make it with care." I can tell Daniel was surprised. "It's just coffee," he said. "No," the man replied. "Nothing is just anything when you give it attention." Something about the way the man spoke made Daniel pause. It wasn't profound, it wasn't complicated, but it felt true. Over the following weeks, the man became a regular. Always the same table, always the same order. And slowly they began to talk. His name was Robert. He had owned 3 successful businesses in his life and retired 5 years ago. But he didn't talk about his success. Instead, he asked Daniel questions. "Why did you want to start a business?" Robert asked one day. Daniel started with the usual answers. To be successful, to make money, to be free. Robert nodded but said nothing. Just looked at him with patient, knowing eyes. Daniel felt uncomfortable under that gaze, so he tried again, going deeper. I wanted to prove I was smart. That I wasn't average, that I could build something significant. Robert said quietly, "So it was never about the business. It was about you." The next day, Robert brought 2 plants in small pots. He placed them on the table between them. "Look at these," he said. One plant was lush and green, the other was struggling, leaves yellowing. "What's the difference?" Robert asked. Daniel examined them. The healthy one has better soil, more water. "Look closer," Robert encouraged. Daniel noticed the healthy plant had deeper roots, visible through the clear pot. The struggling plant had shallow roots circling near the surface. The struggling plant, Robert explained, is trying to grow upward before it's grown downward. It wants to be tall before it's stable. So even with water and sun, it can't sustain itself. He looked at Daniel. "You were like this plant, trying to grow a business before you grew yourself, reading about strategies before you understood your own foundation, looking for teachers to give you height when you needed roots." Daniel felt something crack inside him, not painfully, but like ice breaking in spring. Every person you learned from before, Robert continued, had real wisdom. The books you read valuable, the courses useful, but you weren't ready to receive them. You were consuming knowledge to avoid confronting yourself. You wanted someone to tell you, "Do steps 1, 2, 3, and you'll succeed." But real mastery doesn't come from following steps. It comes from understanding principles. And you can't understand principles when you're running from yourself. Robert leaned back. The student who is ready doesn't seek a teacher. The student who is ready becomes ready to learn from everything. The teacher doesn't appear from outside. The teacher was always there. You just couldn't see them yet. "Daniel, do you know why I'm talking to you?" Now Daniel shook his head. Because for the first time since I met you, you're not performing. You're not trying to impress me with what you know. You're not asking me for the secret to success. You're just here, present. Honest about what you don't know. He smiled. That's readiness. Not confidence, not knowledge. Readiness is humility, presence, and openness. When you stopped chasing teachers, you became ready to learn. After that conversation, something changed in Daniel. Not dramatically, there was no instant enlightenment. But suddenly, like eyes adjusting to light. He stopped seeing his coffee shop job as a temporary setback. Instead, he started paying attention. He noticed how some customers rushed in, distracted and stressed. Others came slowly, deliberately, savoring the moment. He observed which rituals made the cafe run smoothly, which small gestures made customers return. He wasn't trying to extract business lessons anymore. He was just noticing. Robert continued to visit, but now their conversations were different. Daniel didn't ask, "How do I succeed?" Instead, he shared observations. I noticed that when Maria greets customers by name, they linger longer. Small recognition creates loyalty. Robert would nod, yes. Now you're learning not from me, from reality. Robert gave Daniel small practices, not business strategies, but life disciplines. For 1 week before you speak, pause for 3 seconds, notice the difference. For 1 month, write down one thing you failed at each day and what it taught you. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I avoiding today? These weren't impressive. They weren't the dramatic transformations Daniel once craved, but slowly they built something solid inside him. 6 months passed. Daniel was still working at the coffee shop, but he was different. Calmer, more observant, less desperate to prove himself. One day he told Robert, "I think I understand now. All those books I read before, they had the same wisdom you're teaching me, but I couldn't hear it. I was looking for a formula to follow, not truth to embody." Robert smiled, and now I'm ready to learn, really learn. Not to succeed, but to grow. Then you're ready, Robert said. I'll be leaving the city next month, retiring to the coast, but before I go, I want to give you something. He handed Daniel his leather notebook, the one he always carried. These are my notes from 40 years in business. Lessons I learned, principles I discovered, mistakes I made. Daniel held it reverently. Why are you giving this to me? Because you're ready to receive it. 6 months ago, you would have read it looking for shortcuts. Now you'll read it looking for wisdom. The book hasn't changed, you have. 2 years later, Daniel started another business. This time, he didn't follow a formula. He applied principles when challenges came. And they did. He didn't panic or search for answers outside. He paused, observed, adapted. The business grew steadily, not explosively but sustainably, because it was built on a solid foundation. A person who had grown roots before reaching for height. People began asking Daniel for advice. How did you do it? Who taught you? He would smile and think of Robert. I had a great teacher, but I only found him when I stopped looking. My friend, maybe you're searching for the right teacher right now. The right mentor, the right course, the right book that will finally unlock everything for you. But here's what Daniel learned, and what I want you to understand. The teacher doesn't appear when you desperately want them. They appear when you're ready to receive them. And readiness isn't about having enough knowledge. It's about having enough humility, enough presence, enough honesty with yourself. First, every teacher you've encountered had something to teach you. If you didn't learn, it wasn't because they failed. It was because you weren't ready yet. And that's okay. Second, readiness means you stop performing. Stop trying to impress, stop chasing the next secret. You become present with where you are. Honest about what you don't know. Third, when you're truly ready. Teachers are everywhere in books you've already read. In experiences you're having right now. In failures you're avoiding. The wisdom was always there. You just couldn't see it yet. So if you're searching for guidance right now, try this. Stop consuming. For 1 week, no new books, no new courses, no new podcasts. Instead, sit with what you already know. Journal on this question. What am I avoiding by constantly seeking new knowledge? Be brutally honest. The answer will show you what you need to become ready. Because here's the beautiful truth. You don't need to find the perfect teacher. You need to become the perfect student. And the perfect student is simply someone who is ready, humble, present, and open. If this story helped you see something you needed to see, share it with someone who's still searching. Because sometimes, the right message at the right time can shift everything. Until we meet again, remember, stop searching outside, start growing inside. The teacher will appear when you're ready, and you're closer to ready than you think.